So what do I mean when I say a fragmenting world? But all around us, we see established social and financial structures and institutions struggling to provide the resources and stability they were created to provide. They're not meeting societal needs. They're struggling to stay relevant. Hospitals and healthcare systems cannot cope with the demands, and huge numbers of people are falling through the cracks that are now appearing throughout the social fabric and structure. Added to that, weather patterns are changing, and governments no longer seem to have the means or will to deal with the problems, issues, and ongoing crises humanity is now facing. There are now immense numbers of people who are emotionally reactive, and many people are just holding it together. Over 25 years ago, I had a vision, and the vision was of the sun going down. And as a result of that, the world would be plunged into darkness. And this vision indicated that it would be some time before the sun would rise again, as we were entering a time of darkness, of fragmentation, of disorder and chaos. And my vision also indicated that for people to navigate or find their way in that darkness, they had to have the means to firstly excuse me, find a path of light, and secondly, to be able to stay on that path of light. And my vision showed me that when a person was enabled to walk on that path of light, they were not unduly affected by the darkness that seemed to be pressing in around them. And that vision occurred when Tony and I were put together to do our work, which was about light at the end of the day. And so everything that we have done has been creating those pathways of light so that people can find paths of light and to be able to stay on that path of light as the sun's going down. So what in part the vision of the sun going down signifies is the passing away of an old world order, an old way of living and being. So it's not about being afraid of that or it's a natural cycle. Do you understand? The sun comes up, the sun goes down. We just have to know it's very easy when everything looks sunny and bright, but when the sun goes down, how do we navigate that? So what in part the vision of the sun going down signifies is quite simply the passing away of an old world order, a structure, an old way of living and being, an old energetic construct that's been in place for thousands of years is fragmenting. And this all being a reference to a number of cycles that have a celestial and evolutionary basis. So this isn't some random thing, is what I'm saying. Everything is a pattern, just needing to understand that pattern so that we can co-create with it, so we can dance with it, and that we can uphold our spirit self. We can uphold that spirit self as we're moving through whatever we're moving through. So essentially, one world age is ending and a new world age is beginning, and that can get a bit messy. The three transpersonal planets that are Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto are now adding their energies into the mix, and a new race of people is beginning to emerge across the planet in terms of new energies being seeded in. So we've entered into a critical moment in a time of transition where something is ending. And obviously we're in the Aquarian age, ruled by Saturn and Uranus. So we know, and we know that in this age, old structures, Saturn, will have to change, the planet Uranus. Okay? So it's not, as I said, some random thing. We know old structures have to change, but as those old and evolve. Now, inherent in that is understanding the planet Saturn also means, okay, how do we navigate our way through that? Right, Saturn is old wisdom traditions, the old earth wisdom tradition. Well, there is none older than the House of the Bee Mystery School teachings. So old wisdom teachings hold the key, Uranus, to be able to, like the Fool, if you please bring up the tarot card of the Fool, which is ruled by the planet Uranus, that how we can successfully navigate our way, as we can see from the image, understanding we come from the light. So in this time where everything is collapsing, understanding, right, the planet Uranus, the old wisdom teachings help us to remember we come from the light. We are here, that purity of the rose, we are here on this journey, and understanding that journey that we're on is part of our evolutionary journey. So it's not to be feared. We just have to understand that we have that support of old wisdoms being brought into the new, recontextualized to help us navigate. Thank you. The Aquarian age is an information age, and it's a vibrational age, which gives us a little more insight into the support that's there for us. So this critical moment in time, which is a time of transition where something is ending, and the point being here that every ending is a new beginning, and it's critical that we each optimize our capacity to release the old and the unwanted and align ourselves with the new cycle, with a new beginning. So we see it's happening in the world, right? The old is coming down, but as an internal process, understanding that we have that capacity within ourselves, that ending within ourselves of old patterns, of old ways of relating to the old. We need to make sure that we are functioning in optimum states of being. And that's what I'm going to be talking about to you today. Optimum states of being. Essential states of being. And for instance, stress, worry, fear, concern, these are not optimal ways of being. I'm going to talk to you about essential states of being shortly. So in order for us to successfully navigate our way in a fragmenting world where everything in every part and in every aspect of our life is becoming increasingly more and more complex and complicated, we need to have our essentials firmly in place. So what are our essentials? You know, we hear about essentials, don't we? We're going camping or tramping. Not that I really go camping or tramping, but you know, the essentials you take when you're going on a journey, and they're often focused on the external things. You know, there's lots of things, isn't there? If you're traveling, the essential clothes you have to take if you're traveling. So all this focus on essentials from an external point of view, as opposed to from an internal point of view. Inner states of being that are our essentials. That if we look at that image of the Fool, well, what's he taking with him? Essential states of being. It's essentially what we need. We don't need the baggage. We just need the essential states of being. So, what are our essentials? They are the 6 essential states of being. These essential 6 states of being are essential because they are foundational to our existence. We need them as much as we need air, food, water. Needless to say, there is nothing in the world that supports us to create, sustain, and maintain these essential states of being. On the contrary, being out in the world and navigating through the challenges and the complexities of 21st century living takes us away from these 6 essential states. So just getting up in the morning and getting through the day can get us out of any or all of these essential states of being, because nothing in 21st century living is conducive to honoring and supporting the soul and spirit within us. the world around us is very personality based. It's all externally focused. So we need to make sure that we have the means to create, sustain, and maintain the optimal states of being, the essential states of being. So the optimum essential states of being are joy, love, truth, peace, gratitude, and beauty. They are our anchor points. States of being. They're not emotions, they're states of being. And we need each one of them in order to move through life and our days in an empowered and intact manner. Okay, intact. We're moving through the world in an empowered and intact manner. So to walk in light. So in the vision, I also saw, so okay, there was a time of the sun was going down, but in that there were light, specks of light, which is those that are walking in light at this time. So to walk in light can often be, people think, oh, what does that mean, walk in light? But that term is a very, very term that is totally aligned to the very core of the House of the Bee teachings. To walk in light, we know what that means. It means to walk in joy, to walk in love, to walk in truth, to walk in peace, to walk in gratitude, and to walk in beauty. And by association, to stay connected with one's soul, to stay connected with one's spirit, no matter what assaults there may be in the world on the human soul or human spirit. So in an increasingly more complex and fragmenting world, there are 6 essential states of being that make life very, very simple. When things get complicated, overwhelming, stressful, confusing, we just need to get back to basics. Okay? Stuff's going on around us, we can get back to the essential state of peace. If life feels harsh or painful, we can just get back to the essential state of love. Some of you who have undertaken the Hypnotic Protocol Esoteric Hypnotherapy Level 3 Healing the Spirit diploma training with the Esoteric Hypnosis Training Academy are familiar with the 5 elemental states of being, which are joy, love, truth, peace, gratitude. There is so an elemental state is different. They're different, but there is a very dynamic symmetry between the 5 elemental states of being and the 6 essential states of being. The 5 elemental states of being are the basis of our internal relationships with ourselves as a person functioning in the world. In esoteric terms, the 5 elemental states of being have a microcosmic focus and are symbolically represented by a rose. If you please bring up the card of the magician. The 6 essential states of being are the basis of our external relationship with the world and with the greater cosmic reality. In esoteric terms, the 6 essential states of being have a macrocosmic focus and are symbolically represented by a lily, a white flower. Remember the fool had a white flower. The lily is a white flower, can move through untarnished, untouched, untainted. So the 6 essential states of being enable us to move through untainted by whatever is going on in the world. So in the major trump tarot key, the magician is focused on a garden in front of them, and this garden is made up of roses and lilies. So Tony has written a very, excuse me, Tony's written a very comprehensive masterclass for the House of the Bee Occult Library to cover the subject of the 5 elemental states of being and the 6 essential states of being. Just on another note, from an imagery point of view, the 5 elemental states of being are associated with the image of the pentagram, and the 6 essential states of being on the hexagon, which I'll talk about a little later. The hexagon is a receptacle for light. So that document is available, has been written to cover that subject in depth between the two, if anybody, for those that are interested. So I'm now going to briefly step you through each of the 6 essential states. You need to understand what they really are and why they're so important and critical to our well-being, and why they are pivotal in enabling you to live consciously and stay connected to your true self at a time that's increasingly challenging to navigate physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. First, it's really important to understand that the 6 states of being are not emotions, they're not feelings or attitudes of the personality. So the word states has been bandied around in the personal development field, but no one actually has the true information on what a state is. Sure, we can have an emotional state. I'm happy one moment, I'm not happy the next. Or a focused state, which is a mental state. But that's not what I'm talking about. The six essential states of being I'm referring to are beyond our personality, our mind, and our emotions. They are even beyond our soul. They are essential, primary, and foundational states that are expressions of the universal will. That's the living, motivating power behind the entire universe. So these are six essential states of being are the energetic matrix that are the means to stay on that path. That being the path that takes us through and beyond the darkness and into a whole new beginning and new cycle. So the term essential has a story. The term essential signifies the fundamental character of something. The term essential is used to define that which is central to the nature of something or someone. In the context of the House of the Bee teachings, the term essential has a correlation to our divine self, our monad, which is a part or unit of the spirit essence of the universe or of the oneness. So these 6 essential states of being, essential to that connection. So the 6 essential states of being are an intrinsic or essential part of the pattern of our true self. They are an expression of our eternal cosmic essence or monad, the divine spark within each and every one of us. So by way of a brief summary, we can characterize the 6 essential states of being as those that are the natural expression of our essential nature, which has a divine origin and basis. I really want you to really understand that. Our essential self. So I'll just repeat that again. By way of brief summary, we can characterize the 6 essential states of being as those that are the natural expression of our essential nature. And our essential nature has a divine origin and basis, as we saw in the card of the Fool. Just bring up the 2 cards, if you can, together, please. key number 15, the devil, and then beside that, the fool. So we're looking at the card number 15, which, as you see on the figure on the hand, is a symbol for Saturn. Now, the devil, people can look at it and think, oh, it's a scary card. No, it's not at all. It just indicates the physical three-dimensional reality, which can trap us into that. We think it's a three-dimensional reality, and this card has many layers of meaning, but one of them is that it is how do we stay empowered in essentially what can appear to be a disempowering world. We're in physicality. How do we stay empowered? So there's Saturn. Remember I said the Aquarian age, ruled by Saturn and Uranus. At the same time, it's not enough just to stay empowered. Remember I said to you the Fool is associated with the planet Uranus. How do we stay pure and close to our essential divine self? How do we do that when we come down into physicality? Most people will lose touch with their essential self, with their essential cosmic essence or monad. We come from the oneness, we come from the light. And so the task is how do we stay connected? And not just stay connected to our essential divine self, but how can we be an embodiment of that? How can we walk through the world as a spark of light? Our monad is a spark of light, spark of oneness. That's within each and every one of us. How does that radiate out from us? That's the task, the great adventure. And that is possible in the Aquarian age, that we are able to do that. Staying connected so that we are an embodiment of our essential self. Now, that requires those 6 essential states of being.